Hi. Well, we've been out on the grounds out there doing four-wheel driving, as you've probably just seen in the last few videos, with a splashdown on the way. I'm here with James from Driving Solutions, who's been running the course today. And I'd just like to say, James, as a novice coming here today, what should a novice be looking to get out of this course?
Realistically, I think on a day like this, understanding your car better. And I think if people could understand how much technology and how much better four-wheel drives have got, they'll be a lot safer, because a lot of the time it's the nut behind the wheel that oversteps the mark and goes too fast or does the wrong track that then endangers themselves. And like you've seen today, there's a lot of new cars here. They've never been off-road and they just want that confidence to be able to go down that dirt track, go that little bit further and come back safely. It's not about bashing the cars around or anything else like that. Understanding your car and coming home safely.
I've got to say, I was so surprised how the Fortuner went. It's an OE standard four-wheel drive SUV. It's not raised, it doesn't have all-terrain or mud-terrain tyres, just highway tyres, but it performed brilliantly.
Manufacturers do a lot of research and development and testing on vehicles, and sometimes I always like a standard car because the manufacturer spent so much money getting them to that point. Then individualise them by what tyres you need for the conditions. But at the end of the day, being smart about the positioning of the car and how you drive, you can get so much out of a standard car.
Obviously, coming and doing the courses, firstly with someone that's new off road, which we do, but what are the tips you give them around things like tyres and stuff like that, and say what they should look out for when they go off road?
And look, I'm a massive believer that trying it for yourself. Lower pressures on sand is so important, but don't start too low when you've never done it before, because then you could endanger doing the beads and really being stranded. So I always sort of recommend people go to popular places to start with, so there's lots of people around to help them if they do get stuck. But starting at a higher pressure to feel what it's like, so as they get more experience, then they can drop it lower and lower. And that's so crucial. That tyres are one of the big things. It's tyres and ground clearance that really make off-roading safer and easier. So it's very hard to get emotional about those black bits of rubber, but it's one of those things that you walk into a tyre shop and you're overwhelmed by it. So it really is trying to do as much research on tyres as you can to get the best tyre to suit what your needs are, where you're going, and as safe as you can.
Obviously, the only part of the car that touches the road, all the dirt, mud,
all
sand,
the water.
So if anything else is touching you, you've got bigger problems.
And it's a good way of looking at, you can spend so much on off-road equipment, and realistically, looking at what you're doing, if you're just going to go off-road once, why would you ever change your tyres? If you're going to be going off-road all the time, then that's when you start looking at it to get a benefit. Because you've got to remember, a mud tyre doesn't work as well on the road, and still four-wheel drives are doing 90% of their life on road, and that's where people still are dangerous, so it's having that respect for the roads as well.
You touched on a bit of recovery gear and all this there. What would you say is the number one thing someone who's just going for the odd weekend should have in the kit to have in the vehicle if they're going off road?
I'm a big believer, shovel's always number one. You can do whatever you like. If you go through all the stories, the shovel can do so much. But then understand your recovery gear. It's no point having all the gear if you don't have winches and things like that. So understanding what your car's fitted with, and then get the appropriate gear from there. And don't go over the top. If you're just starting out, just go bit by bit. There's nothing worse than spending so much money and not getting the value out of it.
It's been a great day, mate. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Pleasure being out here. So Driving Solutions out of Eastern Creek, Sydney Motorsport Park. Great place to come and do a bit of four-wheel drive practice before you go and try the real world. And thank you to Toyota as well for loaning me the car. So I'm Rod from Fleet Auto News. We'll see you next time.